of May, and it's pretty cold. And 1st of May, one expects it to be a bit warmer than it is right now, but it's not so good so far. Having said that, I was thinking back to previous years on the 1st of May where it really was pretty cold. Now, it really was. Oh, sorry, you're getting it. Right. So I've just set up my computer so I can see questions as they come in. As this is a live broadcast, what you can do, as always, is to send in your questions as they come in live, and I shall try to respond to them. This time here, it's 5 o'clock. It's Saturday. So this is the regular time slot. That's 4 o'clock in the UK, and it's all sorts of different times in different places. I'll try and make this a regular. I've done it regularly now for the last couple of months, and even when I'm out, I dare say I could also do it as a regular slot. We will see, because it's not always that easy to get an internet connection. Anyway, today the subject which I'm going to talk about is what's a double floor. The reason I'm doing this is because I was asked this question twice last week. Now, a vehicle, any vehicle, well, so you'll have the front of it. Here's a vehicle. We'll just pretend that this telephone holder is a vehicle. So you've got the front where you've got the engine and all the rest of it, and then you've got a floor, and then you've got the walls which go around like that. Now, what is the point of a double floor? Is that so the floor that you actually walk on inside your van is not the same as the floor which you're in like this. And in the same way as this telephone holder here, I just thought of this one now, if I can get it open, has got this little bit inside like that, and when you close it, so you can see that that is sort of a double floor, and that is how it largely works with a camper van or a motorhome or something like that. The point of doing this is for insulation. Insulation, when the cold air hits the underside, somehow it gets dissipated in the middle, and it allows you to walk on the this, and it's a bit warmer there. Now, that is the main point, but there's lots of other advantages of having a double floor. And the first and obvious advantage after the insulation properties that comes to mind is, of course, the storage, because you can also now use this space under here for storage. And if it's a camper van, it doesn't give a huge amount. So supposing you get a high roof camper van, and so that which might give you normal circumstances, say 2 meters 40 of clearance inside, so sort of things you get from Fiat or Mercedes, then by the time you reduced it, say, to a 2 meter clearance, that will give you 40 centimeters to play with. I mean, that's all highly theoretical, because you've got to put your insulation in and all the rest of it. But anyway, but that does give you, by raising the living area, you've got this space in here, which is you can actually play with. So that's the first consideration. Now, the second thing to consider is also that it has advantages to engineering advantages. For example, if you put more the technical stuff that goes into the double floor, then it gives you not only more room for storage and other things within the living area, but it also has advantages when it comes to streamlining and the way the vehicle moves and stability and this type of thing. So the one very good example is the SLC chassis, which was developed by Alco and Hymer in the around 4 or 5 years ago, and that is with Hymer was exceptionally proud of this. So everything was actually moved into the chassis of the vehicle, but most vehicles do of course have this type of setup in any case. So now they do anyway, so it didn't at the time. So if you look at something like some companies such as Carthago has exceptional loading capacities on their vehicles because of the double floor. It's huge double floor. You've got access to it also, not only from the outside but also from the inside. There are companies, again Carthago is the best example I can think of, where we can offer access from both the inside and the outside for the same thing. So you can load something from the outside and then you can get it from the inside. Other things which can be done with the double floor, which make it far more effective as well, are things such as underfloor heating. Now this works. In my van I've got underfloor heating, but this was done as an experiment. And I did a video about when was it, October last year, 7 months ago, when I was saying it wasn't all that effective. But I can say now, having spent what was I presume the coldest winter that I've spent in this van, because in other years I wasn't forced to actually live in it because of the health crisis in the warm position. But I'm very pleased at the way the underfloor heating actually worked in my van. Really, I'm really very grateful. I'm really glad I got it. So anyway, so that's another thing you can actually do with a double floor. So I really strongly suggest that people look at vans with double floors. Now, next thing is, of course, it's going to cost more money, because if you're going to have to build your van up and up and up, then it's not only is the thing going to be taller, but it's going to cost more to actually build. So the premium on a double floor is, I would say, somewhere around, depends on the vehicle of course, but you're looking probably around 10,000 euros, at least 10,000 euros more cash to actually construct it. So that's something you might want to actually consider as well. It's the cost. The disadvantage, I suppose, it's going to be higher, but I don't really see this as a great disadvantage. It may make some difference on stability. Personally, I've never felt any difference on stability. There is an absolute limit to which vehicles can be done. I mean, a friend of mine thinks it's around 3 meters 30, for example, or 340 on something like a Mercedes Sprinter basis. If you're using something like a lorry base, such as the Actros or even some Iveco dailies, then it'll be even higher. There's also been reports, studies which have shown that people sometimes are actually frightened when they're too high up as well, particularly if they're not used to it. For example, if you get somebody who's a lorry driver who's been years of experience, then it doesn't make slightly bit of difference. But if you put somebody new in a motorhome and it's quite high up, then there is studies have shown that people don't like this at all. So I suggest that in a case like this, what you might want to do is to get some lessons. Indeed, I suggest that everybody who actually buys a motorhome should get some lessons as to how it actually drives. Right, so anyway, that was my lecture for today on double floors, and I try to take something new every single week. Now, as I mentioned, it's the 1st of May now, which is a day off in most countries in the world, and I was thinking today of I put a video up of where I was 4 years ago. I traveled between Berchtesgaden in southern Germany, in Bavaria, to Salzburg, which is very close. I mean, it's within walking distance for one day, and but it was absolutely freezing 1st of May 4 years ago. But then my mind went back 21 years ago, 30th of April, and I actually got the worst sunburn I've ever gotten. 1st of May, I was in bed in the hotel, and I had to call a doctor, in fact, because I was in such a state. Anyway, Annie's just asked about shock absorbers on vans. Now, the thing with shock absorbers, they can be retrofitted, but the problem there are problems with retrofitting things, and therefore I suggest that they actually, if somebody knows what they want, then this is actually built into it. Now, there's a company, for example, I visited, which does 4x4, and we talked about some of the changes that they made to the vehicles. And certainly, yes, you can add to it. Even companies such as Bürstner is working with a French company called Dongel, which does 4x4 conversion. So that actually they take the Citroen to Dongel so that then Dongel changes it so that the 4x4 is done with them. But there are difficulties with retrofitting anything. So really, if you're getting something built to order, then you can say to right, I want this to be this high or lower or what have you. My own vehicle, I wanted to get it raised, but it was going to be so difficult. It just wasn't. I mean, it wasn't worth the bother and the cost. Or more the cost involved, so I just didn't do it. So yes, it's best to add them when they are when they're custom made, and so that's my opinion anyway. Other people may disagree. I mean, I accept the fact that there are people who know more about this type of thing than I actually do. So that I would actually anyway, that's my suggestion. And good. So anyway, well, I was we didn't get so many questions this week as I normally get. So Mark asks how everybody is, and so yeah, it's very good. Yes, hand is good. Yes, thank you, very good, thank you. And Annie so also says hello everybody. Okay, right. So, well, that's my presentation for today. A lot shorter than it was last 2 weeks. And this evening I have got a Deathlefts Pulse Classic which will be the video for this evening. And tomorrow is a shorts video, and on Monday I've got the Contour from EuraMobil, which is a very nice looking van, and a new version. So yeah, so people do put shock absorbers. They've got these trucks. I mean, this is particularly something you see in the United States, or at least you see in programs about the United States. Well, no, I've seen them in the United States where they put an absurdly enormous pair of four wheels on a normal vehicle, and then they sort of drive around in that. Yeah, I mean, you can do things like that, but I mean, it's the cost involved. So, you can do just about anything if you really wanted to. If you wanted a solid gold engine block, you could do it if you had the cost. Can't see the point, but anyway, that's the way things are. Okay, so thank you very much for listening, and until the next time, until this evening. All right, bye. Gold is heavy, yes, gold is very heavy.